It's always good to talk to you after a win. So we start out the season 5-1. The interesting part of this is at the beginning, we went to Australia and we had started 5 kids, and we started the season. 2 of those kids couldn't start. Brandy Beasley was out, and Mackenzie Blazek. And I think the important thing about that, it gave us an opportunity to play some young kids. This is kind of an interesting blend of young and old. But what happened is our young kids got better. And now Brandy came back, has played the last couple games. Mackenzie's playing limited minutes. We were playing kind of small ball, talking some baseball terms, for the first 4 games. Had to do a little more scheming. I think we got a little more of our size back. Nancy P. will be back at semester for Big Ten play. But I've been really happy with getting some confidence. We've got Presbyterian this weekend and then North Carolina coming up. Mizzou's on the schedule. So we understand what's coming up, and I like the blend of our freshmen. I like the fact that we got Petra Holoshinska back. She's had some great impact spreading defenses. The one big thing about this team, they're sharing a lot of minutes, and they're playing well as a team. Our assists are up, and it's a different looking team. Excited about it, and looking forward to finishing strong before we get into Big Ten play.
What is it about these freshmen that they're able to come in and make an impact, at least so far?
They're talented, and they have an energy. And when we go out and recruit, I look at energy and how you play with fun as a skill set. And if you watch them play, and that's the kind of play we want to do. We want to be that kind of high energy. There's a little more freedom of movement because they can make plays. So they've had a real big impact, and it's nice because as a coach, if you're dictating every move, we're not playing chess here, we're playing basketball. So I feel that their skill set has allowed a lot more freedom of movement, which is helping everybody. We're harder to guard. Last year it was a lot easier to guard us, and I think sometimes freshmen go up and down a little bit. They do some things that you kind of scratch your head about, but I'm pretty excited how they have brought not just their play as their energy level.
I feel like it's more of your stamp on the style of play, the scheme, the system. Is it something that's built up over the last couple of years, or?
Well, every coach is different. And I always say no disrespect to whoever before. It's just, when you recruit, we all have our own personalities, and that just is what's naturally going to be attracted when you go through. With that said, the kids that are here, that senior class is totally bought in. That junior class is totally bought in, and they know the direction we're heading. And we're going to lean on them because as we get into Big Ten play, as much as we love where we're going, those guys have been there and done that. So with due respect, we're kind of doing that incredible blend. And if they didn't buy in and they didn't, help send Illini where we're supposed to go, it could be a whole different story.
Has it been 5-1 since I think 2015? Is there something that feels different about you guys and the direction you're headed right now?
Well, what feels different is the expectation. When I came here, the first time I came here, our expectation is to win the right way. We still have that same expectation, and yeah, it feels good, but we also understand, we're trying to build something here. So as we get into it, the schedule gets tougher and tougher. We've got to be able to respond to that also. So we're not walking in naively with what's coming up.
Petra averaged about 7 points a game her sophomore year, and then the injury happened junior year, and now this year she's averaging 17 a game. Is this the kind of jump you saw her making coming back from her injury?
Well, part of it, one is she actually came off an injury that summer, so was coming off of something even into that year. In all fairness for her, and I'll be honest, I think me and her had to get to know each other as coach and a player. Sometimes when you come in, you have an idea of what's going to happen and how to play to a kid's strength. And last year, I think her and I got closer. We understood each other. I understand her strengths. We have a thing called the Green Light program too, which is really helpful. There's a shooting program. If they accomplish it during the week, they have it a green light during the game, which has really solved a lot of when coaches go, no, oh yes, that we don't do a lot of that. She's got a green light. She shoots it with that kind of confidence, and it's not an easy shooting program. So that's kind of eliminated all that questions about when to shoot it, why to shoot it, and obviously that's really helped her. So I'm extending the defense, and more importantly, she's also got a great basketball IQ that you always kind of have to. She's talking to me a lot on the sideline.
What goes into this Green Light program? And is this something that you've always had established, or is this something new?
No, it's something, one thing I love about coaching, every year is different. You learn something. I've been doing this for a bit, and that's why I love it, because I never think you can ever learn enough. And I picked this up from another coach. Every coach steals, and so I'm no different. And basically it's a 5-minute shooting drill that you have to hit X amount of shots in that time limit, and you'll see them in the gym trying to get it, because what player wouldn't love the fact that a coach can't say anything? Good, and so it's highly motivating.
Coach Miles is almost averaging a double-double per game in her first 6 games. How would you just evaluate how she's come in and made an impact so far?
If you've seen her play, you can see the impact. She's that high-energy kid, not only in games but in practice. I mean, she's explosive around the boards, can get boards. You can all talk boxing all you want, but there are times where it's just quick reaction, and she has that. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've ever let a 4-player take the ball full court dribbling in my career. I just don't want to get in the way of her, because when she turns and goes, it's just who she is. Now, we've talked about some of the decision making, but again, when you get some of that talent, you don't want to sit there and try to box it in too much. So we've been, going back and forth with all that energy. But my double-double works so hard. She's a kid that, if you were in our practice, she's winning all the drills, and not all of them, but all the sprints. She's always pushing, always getting, and that just, what you do when you practice like that, it shows up in games.
To the green light program, how many players on the team have, I guess, achieved this?
Fortunately, not 14, because otherwise you'd see us just jacking the ball up every time we're coming down. No, it's around, it can vary. Some games it's 2, sometimes it's 4. It doesn't mean other kids can't shoot it. But the fact that they're trying to reach that goal, you see more and more kids in the gym trying to achieve it. So it has, even if they don't have it, there's confidence being built.
Competitiveness amongst the team too?
I think they just really like the fact I can't say anything. I think it's between me and them, and that's okay. That's okay.
Nancy, what are you looking for when you finally take this team on the road next week to North Carolina? Is there a checklist of things you'll learn more about your ball club?
Well, we're playing North Carolina. And it's just sometimes when you say the name, I was listening to someone, we were playing a lot of the non-conference schedules, and people they kind of expect you to win those games and so forth. And then when a team gets beat, but they don't notice it, but when you get beat. And that's the thing you have to understand. And even in women's basketball, as well as men's, the competitive edges on mid-majors and stuff are starting to, it's very gray. So I feel good about where we are, but we also know I've got kids from North Carolina on the roster. So there's a little bit even more of an edge going into this game. And I think it's something that I think we're looking forward to, but we're taking it one game at a time with Presbyterian first. But there is an excitement for that game. And, it's not a team I'm nervous about being first time on the road, because we do have those veterans.
And the players interact with Steve Douglas in the original reunion?
Oh, 100%. We know history is important, and we're trying to make sure we keep building that. One of our alums, Susan Bonner, came in last year and said this would be a great idea if we could bring Coach back, and she did an awesome job along with our iFund and all our alumni people to bring these group of people back. It was our biggest alumni event. And to hear stories, and the most interesting thing I told my players, the stories, yes, were a few on the court. They were more off the court. And my team got to meet them. We had a reception. We brought them to practice. We let Coach talk to the team. There's important legacy we've got to bring together on the women's basketball side, and that was a big first step for us.